It's time to build a directive for our event list. What I've done in our template, I've added a new special checkbox that the user can tick to define if the specific event is special or not. I've also modified the ngMock to initialize the special value to be true for some elements and false for other ones. What we're going to do is to have a new label displayed next to the event name. We'll have a sort of badge, and the badge will display the hot text. So all of our special events will be highlighted in bold and have the hot label next to them. So how we're going to achieve that? Well, let's see how we can do that through a directive. So our goal is to create the new directive for our module again. So we'll have our angular.module event app. Then we're going to declare the directive and we'll call it highlight. Okay? Then we'll have our function with a return inside it. It will be an attribute directive, so our restrict keyboard will be just A. And we're going to replace the DOM element as well, so we'll use the replace through keyword. Okay? And our template will be something like, will be a bold, and we'll have our event name inside, and there will be a parm. We'll see how to provide parms in a minute. Followed by a span class label info. And this is a Bootstrap 3 class, and the label will be hot. Okay? And we can close our span. So this is the template we want to build, okay? But what we don't know is how to tell the template what name is. And that's why we're going to introduce a link function. And the link function is used when we want to bind the data to our directive. So the link function takes the following params: the scope, the element itself, we'll call it elem, and the attributes, as well as a controller, but we don't need that. Okay? Inside the function, we're just going to define what this name is. Okay? So our scope.name will be something that we'll get from the attributes, and we call it attrs.eventName. Okay? Inside the scope, as you can imagine, we have everything that belongs to the scope itself. The elem parm contains the element where our directive has been applied to, and the attrs will be the attributes on that specific element, right? So let's see how we can use this directive as it is at the minute. And to do so, we're going to go in our event list, and inside our ng repeat, we're going to change our bind to the event name to be using the directive instead. So it can really be any DOM element because we are going to replace it. And in its attributes, we're going to pass the event parm. So we're looking for an event name attribute because this is what we have defined. And that will be our actual event ID. Sorry, event name. Okay? And that's it. Well, the last thing we have to do is to attach the directive to the element. And that will be just highlight. Okay? Highlight. So let's have a look at what happens now. I don't have any logic, so I'm expecting that at least I'll see all the events being highlighted if it works. So back to our nice list, and boom, we have all hot stuff. But we don't have the event name. There must be a reason, right? And the reason is quite simple, because if we go back to our code, what I didn't tell you is that if we type in lower camel case our attribute, that will be converted to lowercase. So let's just keep it lowercase and that will work. Okay, so we'll keep it lowercase in here and lowercase as well in the attributes. Back again, and boom, we have all the events highlighted. And if I try to edit one of them, like Sherlock Holmes, and I change it to artist, and I save, it's still valid, so the directive is still getting applied. And if I delete it, it still works. And if I add a new event, wow, blah 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 blah, price will be 2000 and the date will be 2015 0101. Okay, submit. The flag doesn't matter at the minute. Even for new elements we have the directive being applied. Good. We just want to add a space as well, maybe, which makes it a little bit more readable. Looks a little bit better. The next step for us is to change the event list to display these new highlighted events only and exclusively the special flag is set to true. So you already know how to do that, right? But we're going to do that in a different way. We're going to use an ng switch this time, which is kind of like an ng show and ng hide, but we're going to do that in a sort of switch statement. So let's create that immediately. So in our nice span highlight event name blah blah, we're gonna have an ng switch in our TD, okay? So ng switch, and as you can see, ng switch takes a non-expression. So the expression will be our event.isSpecial. And inside the content of our TD, so everything that is included between the tags where we have defined the ng switch, we're going to do a when condition. So we'll have an ng switch when, and inside the when condition we're going to evaluate the value of what we have defined on the on. It's really like a traditional switch in other programming languages. So when true, we're going to display this nice span highlight, okay? And when false, we're going to do something else. We don't even need to care about the false. We can define a default behavior. So we will change our ng switch when to be ng switch default. And we don't need any expression in that case. So the default ng switch will be used when all the other conditions are not true. And of course, as ng switch is an actual switch, you can have multiple when conditions, right? So ng switch default will just display the event name as it used to be previously. So we'll still have our span, but inside there we have our event name. Okay, so let's check what happens in the application. As you can see, we have only two elements in bold, and that's because those are the only one where our special flag is set to true. Let's prove my point. Let's add a new event, special event bold. The description is very special, and the date is 2016-0101, and the location is Bahamas, and then the category will be games. Price €100, and let's tick the special flag. The event has been added, and as you can see, it's in bold as well. So that's it, guys. It's time to look at how we can deal with scopes inside the directive.